Mr. Mankwa, me office was a niska bani di awie ni project no. Eso de bia me office ka mane wo problem.
Enemremu. Na monte tap sending kan.
No so ne de.
Tap send here easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey any say.
Chine say won ko App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. Oma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the giving customers won't or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about anything.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubetimi akọ tap send app no no create wallet woso. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika ko gu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atususu nkakra. Enti abre sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no. No anse wa send sika na ba Ghana. Anase oba o my Ghana mu a watimi use sika e wo wallet no no. Tie.
And you said to say you use momo Ghana hey no.
Sa pepe. See a tap send that trainer shim. Copium wo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands, and Austria. Tap sender now. Papa no.
After successfully redefining Accra's skyline with the delivery of the signature apartment, Cape May Properties presents an exclusive unveiling of the tallest residential building in Ghana, offering a first look of Sultan Sky. Sultan Sky, a magnificent representation of the seamless fusion of quality, groundbreaking innovation, and pioneering architectural brilliance. An extraordinary structure set to reshape the concept of upscale living, thanks to its inventive attributes and unparalleled commitment to precision. This master-planned residential development will focus on the building's location, security, privacy, the design's aesthetic brilliance, elevated features in each living space, cutting-edge smart home technology, and amenities beyond imagination. With fantastic residential features, which include 24-hour concierge service, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a floating tennis court, a floating swimming pool, a spa, a sky pool, a sky lounge, a movie theater, co-working spaces, kids zone, distinctive lifts for staff and deliveries, private gardens, chef's kitchen, expansive terraces, entertainment rooms, restaurant, and 24-hour security. Sultan Sky, a new perspective in the sky.
For me, Moajo, Kwaba, and then Enumerate Edo Eba as the lawyer Jumedi I bro every Friday. Pia NAC lawyer Wisdom Akaho Ababekan who from Wiseman Services and a 1 year Eba Betri and Como. Last week, yes, Remo was a fan chain said Yav Timmy Amfa Jumedi Ambro. Then they at the end come or say the Home Office is not always right. How to successfully appeal a refusal, how to successfully appeal a refusal application. And yene lawyer ebe piho enkomo. Nenu ne chino unsu benya kwenya na uwo question bia with the aba na lawyer yano ede amai. Lawyer memo ajo emu akwa banyumrei edo eba jumedi so.
Nana mejo so pinso ma ajo ema akwa aba. Ohun yede.
Nyamina dom beho ye pa na unso ai woni wise matter busia.
Adomonte Abdomini Dawson, near A. or Money Moyang.
Nice one. Yo, and I said, yes, I prekra. And they say, if there is any updates, be up say, yen audience no ehu a na wabɔ so ede ama yen no n'echi no yen go straight to our topic for today.
Thank you very much. For good evening to all of you. I hope that Adomonte, we are all doing well. Now, first of all, me send you link be. I don't know if I've sent it to you. Me send you link be. Yenga yewo health and care nisu. Bia na yang sponsor. Go home office. Abounzi almost sponsorship license. Oma revoke sponsorship license. Na OIS stranded no. There is a link. Obi a create database be obetemi akoho akohwehwe another company or another care company that ebi wo vacancy and me divert to dwa na na mesene am osisi na wo dia to dwa na obi ehia sa link na obetemi akoho na wako akohwehwe a different sponsor from that sponsorship list. So that is at least a good news. It's a newly developed care visa for sponsors. For sponsored workers or for care workers. Their license have been revoked or their sponsorship license have been revoked. So you can go to that site. And I've just sent it to you. You can go to the site and you can put it on now. Will be on here. Some information. Wait me a call. Share a company. Now, it's not for me to go and search for the company for you or for your family member, but at least I've given you the direction to Walbekoho to go and do your search to see if you can get a new company if you have to switch. Different scenarios. Ebi buyer as care workers. Companies, no home office are revoking sponsorship license because now and complaint I could do home office point. Home office I conducted search and now information among set among them they've cancelled or revoked their sponsorship license. So they revoke it, the company in the sponsorship license and it affects all the employees in that company. So people have found themselves in that category. That is one. And then there is also the other option of ABI, now, the employer said, as I said, you should be driving because you should drive from one place to another. Nipano said, David, I don't have a driving license. And now my driving license, I haven't got it in the UK. See, I can't drive. Now, employer said, David, then I am withdrawing my sponsorship. I'm also stranded. Please go to this link and get the another sponsor and move to a new sponsor rather than remaining with the old sponsor who would obviously terminate your employment and then you become an overstayer in the UK. That is one. So the first scenario is the Home Office has revoked the sponsorship license of the company. The second scenario is the employer has withdrawn the sponsorship certificate of the employee. The third scenario is ABA, and and I want to move on. And because I'm moving on, I don't want you to move on with me. Maybe another sponsor, but me person will not overcome home as a dependent, not confusion about hunting. Ebasa, Obama bet me move to another sponsor, Obama bet me to another sponsor. So go onto this site, go to that link, get a sponsor, shift ASAP before you get yourself into trouble. Sometimes ABA overdo help at Heathrow, overdo airport, not immigration officer, border force, or might be some questions. Questions I will be sound about it and now baby and answer now the is totally different from near and can set a work records. So based on that, now Omonsoma Council will assist. You have done admin review or JR or even appeal. Such situations, you have to wait until your case is resolved before you can switch to another sponsor. So different scenarios, different occasions, that is leading to what we are facing now. There are a lot of people on my stranded because of this health and care idea. So what is happening is the database there will help you to be able to, of course, get an employer who will take care of sponsorship for you. Apart from Enono set the law doesn't prevent you from becoming a family member or to switch as a partner. Say, oh, ba, situation in Tiasisa, you can switch to become a partner or a parent based on the fact that you are no longer a dependent of an EU, let's say, of a sponsored person. So those are some of the situations or the scenarios under which a person may want to switch to the new sponsor route. So that is just a brief update for you. The next one is, I believe, sir, I mentioned it some time ago, but the MAC, the Home Office, MAC, Migration Advisory Committee, sir, research and finding into whether 2-year graduate route Nusuno, sir, if they are admitting or if they are abusing the system, and now they should scrap that 2-year or 3 years graduate route visa. And a MAC, Migration Advisory Committee, MAC, Migration Advisory Committee, research, and they are finding, and they came back to tell the government that yes, Yakoya search, Yakoya research, Yakoya findings, who said the system is not being abused, and therefore keep giving the people the 2 years to work in the UK after they finish their first degree or master's or PhD. So thankfully, and dear, the MAC has recommended the Home Office to still keep it, which is a good thing. Until we will course now successfully. And yes, we came to do a degree and then give you a postgraduate, it will not work. You came to do a degree and they give you a diploma, it will not work. You have to get a degree. If you came to do your master's, you have to pass your course. If you came to do your PhD, you have to be successfully passed through it. If you have done that, then you can get your 2 years or 3 years if it's a PhD to work in the UK. So that option, thankfully, has not been cancelled. It is still there for us to explore. So those are the two brief updates. So now, if you have any question, otherwise I'll continue with the topic for the day.
Yo, any young person na yanka and then
May I say, Papa? Now, the question is, or the topic is, the Home Office does not always get it right. They make very wrong decisions sometimes, very, very wrong decisions. Very wrong decisions. And sometimes you wonder how they could arrive at such a decision. I'll give you an example. There was one time I called court, I'm going to refuse me client the application. I'm going to refuse the application, no. Any appeal, they call court. And the Home Office was saying, I'm going to interview. They interview the client and the spouse. Answers now, the answers were conflicting. They were not the same consistent answers. I don't say, that was the Home Office position. And because of Anonti, they refused the application. And now, our point was this. So I took time, went through the Home Office document now with the buyer, and I mean, who said, Home Office for the OB documents a Nigerian ni document, Abefra Ghana ni document. All right? And to the Nigerian ni the ding ni documents, Abefra ye bundle, bundle no, Ghana ni bundle. Now somebody Nigerian ni documents, Abefra yen bundle. And to do court, no Home Office ni bisa, me client do questions. Mensumi examination in chief, Home Office for your cross-examination, re-examination. And the edu submission stage, and I'm capture judge said, we have to page so and so of Home Office for Nankasa bundle. And I judge ni be there, away to that part of the bundle. And I'm capture judge said, sad documents not a walk on, and ya me clients there, and ya me client in any date of birth, and the information I will know. It's got nothing to do with my client who is a Ghanaian. The information there has to do with a Nigerian and not a Ghanaian. And to me catch a judge said, Home Office wasn't my client. Why a mistake on the appeal or during the interview. If Home Office, would see air conditioned offices, but a mistake. Any Nigerian need document about Friday documents are. I don't understand how my clients are more under tension and be interviewed, cannot make mistakes. Like Jack said, because Home Office was not under any pressure, but even they can make mistake by putting somebody else's document to mix with another person's document. And to say clients were under pressure of being interviewed, it is possible that they will make mistakes, and therefore their Home Office funny cano one gin to or demand their clients. So the Home Office doesn't always get it right. There was another scenario. Yapisa, Papa said last weekend, not more, and Papa say, I was at home and my wife had traveled to America. She wasn't back last weekend. She came during the week. Mamene ba yeno, and Yapisa said, last weekend, the same question, what did you do? And Mamene said, we were at home together. You know? So the answers to the question were different. The same question, but different answers. Papani said the woman was in America. She had traveled. Maminu said we were at home together. And the judge said, because the answers were different, Onjin said the relationship is genuine. Only the judge say, or no, we're worried for so many years, and he doesn't remember everything about his wife or his family, and he doesn't even recall what they did last weekend. So the fact that Papanaka one thing, Maminusaka one thing, that doesn't mean that the relationship is not genuine or the maom. It depends on the judge, an open-minded judge who understands the way things are. So the point I am driving at is that the Home Office is not always right. They get their decisions wrong. And if they get it wrong, what should you do? You have to appeal. Number one, appeal the decision. What do you do before you appeal? One, read the decision. Read the refusal decision. So read the refusal decision and understand the decision. It is not everything that they write that is important. Some things are not important. Niyama bi a in the decision are not important. It's just red herring. They are putting a lot of things in just to make it look big or a lot. It is not necessary. They can make a decision and it can be 5 pages or 10 pages. All they are talking about is maybe one issue. So after you read the decision, identify the issues. Merci Subium. Read the decision and identify the issues. Why was the application refused? Don't pay attention to all the long statements. It doesn't matter. Why? That is the issue. Identify the issue. They can write 5 pages. The issue may just be one thing. So once you've identified the issue, the next thing is, how do you address the issue? So almost say, one fact documents are bad. Ask yourself, do I have those documents? If I have the documents, did I provide those documents? If you provided it, do you have a list to show that you provided the documents or you uploaded those documents? If yes, can you provide that list or that printout of the uploaded documents? If yes, then you have a good case. Because you have to point and show to the judge that these documents are Home Office for 7 mano. And you correct me the buyer. This is the evidence. Me upload it at this time. And no near I just say I'm back with the documents me buy in the Home Office for a canon. And you correct. The judge will base on that and allow the appeal. So if they claim you haven't provided the documents, do your own searches and ensure that the documents they claim you haven't provided, you actually provided it as a matter of fact. Some will say, 1 year tuberculosis, sir. Do you have the evidence to prove that you did the tuberculosis? If yes, produce it. Almost 1 year English language test, sir. Do you have the evidence to show that you did the English language test and you provided it? Yes, provided. So do all of that, and then part 1 of the question is answered. The next thing is, ask yourself, documents now with the coin, are they genuine documents? Are they documents that you can defend in court, or you can say they are genuine documents and you can base on that to, of course, argue your case. So are they genuine documents? Money transfer, bank statements, telephone call, evidence of communication, your school certificates, are they genuine documents? If they are, then of course, that is another strand of the appeal process that you have already won. Then from a honor, you have to prepare your friend of grounds. The grounds of appeal. And yes, sir, near almost one year, if it is one issue, two issues, three issues, four issues, identify the issues first and then respond to the issues one by one. Example, Home Office for say, who worry ye uni and who worry in 2021. Meanwhile, no, so we share marriage certificate in Israel, I say who worry in 2020. Now, so the registration of the marriage was done in 2021. Again, who worry in 2020, but who register in 2021. Home Office for say, who worry in 2021, which is wrong. You married in 2020, but you registered it in 2021. And you point to the fact that your Home Office, you refused my application because you claim that I'm married in 2021. This is not right. Go to section or column 2 of the marriage certificate where it clearly states that I'm married in 2020. There's a what DPT no already point. You've addressed that point. The second one, almost say abofrano enya wuba, because birth certificate now the buyer you got the birth certificate after 10 years. Worker said no problem. I will provide DNA to prove that the child is my child. The second issue, you've addressed it. Almost say tenancy agreement now with the buyer. It doesn't have enough rooms to show say you have enough room to accommodate yourself and your spouse. Worker say this is my tenancy agreement. Even though it doesn't say it's 4 rooms or 5 rooms, I've got a letter from my tenant or my landlord which says it's a 3-bedroom property. You've also responded to that section. Almost see one fact, WhatsApp messages, you can tell them that is not true. I provided WhatsApp messages, 4 pages, 5 pages, 7 pages. This is it. So you've already addressed the 4 issues that they have raised against you. You've addressed the 4 issues they've raised against you: the date of the marriage, the date of registration, of course, the marriage certificate, and all the other things they pointed at, you have addressed. So that is the grounds of appeal. You have drafted your grounds of appeal. After you've drafted the grounds of appeal, make sure you are within time. So, we application will Chrome here refuse here. You have 14 days. 14 days from when you got the decision, not from when they made the decision. And it's only a decision in last year, and I will say the 14 days starts from not last year. Now we had a decision. So we had a decision 2 months ago, and then I will say the 14 days starts from I will say who outside the UK, who Ghana now your application, you refuse here, you have 28 days. The 28 days starts from the day you received the decision, not the day they made the decision. So people get very confused with this. The 28 days or the 14 days is from the date you received it, because you didn't know that they have refused you, and therefore you couldn't have appealed, and that is why it starts counting from the date you received the decision. So make sure you are within time, draft your grounds, have your documentations ready, identify the right appeal forms, and then you lodge your appeal. If you lodge your appeal, we have paper appeal and then we have oral appeal. The paper appeal won't call court. There are some cases that paper appeal or paper hearing is okay. And only there's a won't call court. Your statement be now they are judge national. And no, should be on very narrow issues. If it's a very narrow issue, you can do the paper appeal. But a broad issue and which needs explanation, make us do the oral hearing, and only £140. The paper one is £80, whereas the oral hearing is £140. 141 is the Ubeko court. And now Ubeko court, and then you have to speak, you have to talk to the judge. So that is that as well. So the court will go to different stages and get to the point where you have to, of course, go to court. But before you go to court, you have to prepare a bundle. Bundle docket and brief now udi to judge name. Sometimes we call courthouses. I won't say change a lot of boxes and a lot of sometimes wheel and the boxes. So it's all the bundle or the evidence you are presenting to the court to prove that this is my case. So enough and your friend bundle. It's a bundle. You prepare your bundle in accordance with the civil procedure rules. It has to be paginated. You have to number it 1, 2, 3, up to 100, or up to 200, up to 400. Or you can make it A1, A2, A3, A4, up to A20. B1, B2, B3, up to B40. C1, C2, you can do it in that order. You have to paginate your bundle, and it has to be very well done. You must have index to bundle. Index to bundle no or page 1. Page 1 our index no and your witness statement. In the jack will be a page 1 and say in a witness statement no. We got page 20 a marriage certificate. In the jack share page 20 or be a page 20 or bundle number on himself marriage certificate and a wahop. We got page 100 a money transfer receipts and see front page nature say page 100 money transfer receipts. In the jack will be a bundle no page 100 on himself marriage money transfer receipts in the wall. So you have to have your bundle very well done. You must have your paginated bundle with your index to bundle well done. We have Basa, the judge will be very upset with you. They just throw your case out. So that is it. But before you prepare your bundle, you have to prepare your witness statement. Witness statement here, chronological. Maybe when you met, where you met, when the relationship started, when you moved in, when you started living together, when you had your first child, where your partner works, etc. Step by step by step by step by step. And what statement should mirror the statement of your partner? We won't make before or partner so before in your statement. The statement should have an mirror image. Almost the same thing. There may be little changes here and there in terms of language, but in terms of the content, it should be the same. Papa say worry on Wednesday, 5th December. Unsu say worry Wednesday, 5th December. Untima say worry Saturday, 5th December. It just you are not on the same page. So please, everything has to be in alignment, or there has to be consistency in terms of the witness statements. So your witness statements must detail your name, your address, and the content of all that has to go into the documents. Your story. Your witness statement is like your story. Your story. So your story has to be compact. Your story has to be genuine. Your story has to be legit. Your story has to be persuasive. You have to persuade the judge. Let the judge believe that what you are saying is true. If the judge does not believe what you are saying, you are finished. Your case is done. You are out. And to let the judge believe what you are saying, be persuasive. Your answers should be persuasive. So after the documentary evidence in your bundle, documents now they are your bundle, no pay slips, bank statement, tenancy agreement, money transfer, door-to-door shipping, tenancy agreement, of course, school certificates, tuberculosis, all those things in the bundle. I know your paperwork. After you go do court, if you go for hearing, you now have to speak in court. Home office bet be saw asem. Judge bet me be saw asem. Won't lawyer bet me be saw asem. Then you have to make sure say near what paper in your witness statement has to tally with what you are going to say in court, or what you are going to say in court should tally with what you've written in your witness statement. Make sure whatever you are going to say in court matches whatever you have said or you have said on your or in your witness statement. We could cancel our witness statements more. What could do court? Home office are trick you. How many children do you have? We say I have 3 children already. What's the case? Because on or in your witness statement, you see you have only 1 child. You clearly stated it there. Meanwhile, in court, one can say, I have 3 children. Straight away, the judge will say, I don't believe you. You are not believable. And a judge, Obroni judge, and I'll be judge in put, I will from her. A catcher say, you are not believable or you are not a credible witness with case now, I say, you are finished. So you have to be consistent. So lawyer, a statement mawa, kind true. Read it, and read it. Understand it. My lawyer not enter us here. What does this mean? Let them explain to you. The lawyer will not give evidence. The lawyer cannot give evidence. The lawyer cannot answer questions for you. He is there to talk about the law and put it, along your case, the fact of your case. Yeah, Bisao said, what was the last time I went in Ubane Kasaya? You don't expect the lawyer to answer because he wasn't in your house and it's not the lawyer who speaks to your child. So the lawyer cannot give answers to you. And this is Krobiswa, Obibet Miaka, the accused, they said, Onkoka way and Onkoye way. So you have to be consistent. The lawyer cannot give evidence. The lawyer cannot give evidence. And to be to me, say, well, the lawyer, and to me, of course, because Yabisa said, Dabena warrior. Lawyer, no, only the lawyer doesn't know when you married. So he cannot give evidence. Yabisa said, the lawyer cannot give evidence. The lawyer never any say. So who can say we are? No, the law, no. Paragraph so and so of the immigration rules says if a person is married, they have to apply so and so. Page number 4 of the bundle shows that he is married, marriage certificate, and then no. Paragraph section number 1, subsection B of so and so says, set Nipan our communication with the partner, actually said the marriage is continuing. If you go to page 20 of the bundle, communication, so the lawyer is going to use your documents and the law to argue on your behalf. But the lawyer is not going to give evidence, it's not going to give answers on your behalf as to what went on in your house or what did go on in your house. I went for one case in Birmingham some time ago. Home Office for say, Omuko Papani Fie, Omuko Fiohono, na Empakiti be never dynamo. Meanwhile, Papa say worry you ne. Almost a dime one bed, like a student bed pen a walk. Ena, Bibian a room a dame home so actually say, Mammy Obia Ewopio or Babia Opio, and Tiamunjin said, Papano or worry ampa. And Omuko, baby, my many yejuman, Omuko printy, Obia, almost see or the mammy Yaman a yejuma, Eddie Bayer. And Tiako court, and the Home Office will be service no questions. Yeah, and I may be some Home Office for say, 1, you didn't enter the room. Did you enter the room? They say yes. Where's the picture? Picture ben I move try here, which they say a single bed. Almost see and picture here. 2, did you enter the room? Did you open the drawers to show say Obania maybe any if you want? Almost say no, we didn't open the drawers. Did you open the wardrobe to show say Oba enter any wardrobe no more? Almost say David. Most money neighbor be kasaye. Neighbor and your friend is saying, almost say I'm funny thing. Statement Ben and neighbor ni Troye, almost say and this statement. When the picture there back from Ejuma set, Sani Pay Nadi Obana Nema Ejuma. Sani Pan Aden line manager and Amma or court to Ambetre Sani Pay Ena or this Sani Ejuma. And I yes Sani Payna or your mammy, almost see a case line manager. And I told the judge, the Home Office have not made their case, and therefore they have no evidence that they went to the house. They have no written statement from the manager. They have no written statement from the neighbor. There is no evidence at all. I just said they even went to the house. We won that case hands down. So it is all down to the evidence you provide and the oral evidence you give, and you have to be consistent. Yeah, be some question or quarter. You have to be. Don't dodge the question. Don't be evasive. Oh, Afrena, you are scratching your head, thinking of the answer. The judge will say you are being a hesitant witness or evasive witness. You are trying to evade, you are trying to dodge the question. If you do that, your case will be dismissed. Don't dodge the question. Answer the question and don't talk too much. People talk too much and then they go and say things that they should not have said. So, long and short is that the Home Office is not always right. So we application be and they refuse you, seek legal advice, appeal. The Home Office sometimes they'll withdraw. Almost said the case is they will withdraw the case and then they'll issue you your visa and ID. Don't let them get away with the refusals. So when challenge here, you've lost your case. Challenge them, appeal, and you have your case to win. So don't be evasive. Don't dodge the questions. Answer the questions as clearly and frankly as possible. Maybe it's not yourself. Maybe it's a brother or a sister or a friend you know of. Tell them, I am saying they should not dodge the questions. Won't take question ask the judge or the Home Office to ask it again. Don't assume say we're not Amobisa. Don't dodge the question. Be consistent. I'm going to ask a trick question. Maybe say one question. After 2-3 minutes, they'll ask the same question in a different way. When you're careful, you give a different answer. Now I'm going to say, and you know, we can't wait 2 minutes ago. I think we can't different thing. Based on that, your appeal will be dismissed. So the lawyer will do the legal arguments based on the skeleton arguments, based on the facts, based on the law. But the lawyer will not give you evidence. The lawyer will not give witness statement. The lawyer doesn't give witness statements in court. The lawyer doesn't give evidence in court. So sometimes we don't understand these things, but that is how it works. I will go over again. Your evidence, your oral evidence and your documentary evidence will have to be consistent. Don't give different responses to the same question. If your case is listened to and the judge makes a decision, sometimes within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, not a successful, your appeal will be allowed. If your appeal is allowed, in the UK, the Home Office will have 14 days to appeal against the decision. Or if you are from outside, the Home Office will have 28 days to appeal against the decision. That is if it's from outside. If it's from inside, yes, 14 days. Outside, 28 days. So 28 days and not 14 days, not on your appeal. Hey, you've won your case. But if they appeal, that means it's going to go to the upper tribunal to challenge the decision for you to come back to court or for the judge to reconsider the case again. Don't dodge a question. If you are unbelievable, your case will be lost. So how do you win your appeal? Identify the issues, not all the statements, just the issues. Get your documents to address the issues. Draft your grounds, lodge your appeal, pay your fee, prepare your bundle, let it be consistent. The documentary evidence should be consistent. Prepare your documentary bundle and be ready to give oral evidence in court. And let your evidence be consistent with your documentary evidence. If the judge believes you, you will win your case. If the judge thinks you are dodging the question and you are trying to be smart, you will lose your case. You may have to take it to upper tribunal. But it is so difficult. So we'll lose the first one now for the upper tribunal judge to override or overrule the young judge. Sometimes it is not difficult for them. So you have to make sure that you prepare, you do it once, you win it once, and then you are good to go. Nana, so this is how to win your appeal. Identify the issues, have your documents, prepare your grounds, lodge your appeal within time, prepare your witness statement, prepare your bundle, be ready to give oral evidence in court, and be consistent. Your lawyer will give the submission to support your case. Home and dry, you win your appeal. Change the habit of not challenging the Home Office. Challenge them. Appeal. Sometimes they give up and then they let you go. But if you let them go, you let them go. You have lost. So challenge. If you think the Home Office is wrong, appeal. Even to the Supreme Court, appeal, challenge them. They will let you have your leave to be in the UK. Usually, Nigerian they normally appeal. They will appeal to the Supreme Court. But you're gonna for this, Nigerians will fight until they get their case resolved. Ghanaians, we give up easily and we look for other options, whereas the Nigerians, they will fight even up to the Supreme Court until they get their case won. If they know that they are right, they will fight to the end. So that is it. That's how to win your appeal in summary. Nana, thank you.
But that's it. And I also believe that, what can I say in the same way, you say, will be a year and entry clearance if Ghana ABA, na say you refuse the application, and so, and I'll be encouraging and say, yenye appeal.
Exactly.
Yo. All right. Now, my question, and then it's a nitty or yeah, Ghana and a Diabahanua. A DA and a Bemia who said your grounds of appeal. And as a DA and a Bemia who said, Sir, refuse a yeah, appealing qua, you bet me a winning case.
Thank you. It's all from there's this saying that the devil is in the detail. The devil is in the detail. Sometimes, the more careful you read the decision, you realize that the answer is right in the decision. Example, you see, one for marriage certificate amba. Meanwhile, also himself with the marriage certificate accord. So the answer to the problem is the marriage certificate. You provide it, you win your case. And I almost say, communication now with the buyer and you're genuine. Once you say you're genuine, you take the evidence from MTN, from whatever it is, network provider, they have a letter to support it. You win your case because you know the evidence. So, near almost one and one is the solution to the problem. So just obtain that and do it. So read the refusal decision from Ghana or wherever. Why did they refuse you? Do you have the documents? Do you have the answers to that? Challenge them. That will let you know whether you have the right to appeal. Visit visas, you cannot appeal a visit visa. First, you could, but only year period. So visit visa, you can't appeal. And you don't have admin review. But you can have judicial review. We have appeal, admin review, and judicial review goes higher and higher. Judicial review means that they haven't made the right decision. So it goes to the upper tribunal. But before you go there, you give them 14 days. You write to them that I want to take you to court because you made the wrong decision. I want to take you to court. I give you 14 days to change your mind. If you don't change your mind, I'll take you to court. Normally, they'll write to you and say, oh, yes, we admit that we made a wrong decision. Please withdraw the case or don't go. Take your passport to Ghana, to the embassy. They'll issue your visa. Or, no, we think that we made the right decision. If you want to go to court, take it to court. And then you go for the judicial review. So we have admin, appeal, judicial. There are three different things. Admin, review, that one goes back to the Home Office. Appeal goes to the court. Judicial review goes to the court. So that is the order it is. So whether you have the right of appeal or not, you will know from the refusal decision. That is where everything is from.
Yo. When you, Mami, Emma, one example now, for me, for final so for question, Embra. Madam Fubina or no application na or school or UK Hano. Na the sponsor na or sponsor no for education no. Na wedi kind that same year no wedi kind as sponsor will be. Into the second person acquire with that same bank statement no. And a embassy nika said there be a big British High Commission car said there be sa unipakuya was sponsor will be at the engine ni said ubitimi sponsor and dipa bienu at the same time. Inti okoye and okoka chair sponsor no and a sponsor no edit another bank statement e can ho and a troll letter can ho say there be me second bank statement ni I'm in a position to sponsor the two of them. It was another application. Okoya demand. It's just an example to say yes, the eating is in the pudding, and the pudding is in the eating.
The sweetness of the pudding is in the eating.
Yo, I was here for lawyer wisdom and they so and then as the lawyer Jumedi. I had the bro every Friday. Yeah, what me say Home Office and ya bibia and obe right. Inti say omo refuse you with me I happy based on the decision omo edi refuse you. Sabre ebra also o question bia with me edi aba oma onsaso e wo Zoom no so mefa na wo the question no edi aba. Ohine ba de watchro no ewa misre wa unmute yourself na anase ma onsaso na main file na file question no ebra na lawyer no ema bomodia na mansa so e wo Zoom de so say wo question bia meslewa na why you tie no metimi akan e de ama but say wo ha no so na betimi ama mansa so a wo ma mansa so a na Kwasi or say Kofi or say my main file indi kan na maba penat or Kofi Kofi were here for me, na me on meet Kofi. Yeah, Kofi, please ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
The question is British High Commission. The requirements now more na the bro. Now you satisfy them. But say what man satisfy back one and I say beer. No, I refuse you. But only their own country say appeal. Why is it like that? Because if I mean the requirements, I've provided them. Now say government to me. Now if we say ignorant, ultimately, then can say be or appeal a right to be no vending.
But that's it, Papa. That's it, Papa. Decisions are different. A be a visit visa, for instance. A be a spouse, our a be a school. A be a help and care. To make 2 examples. Say, we have visit visa application. It is subject the way everything. Not case where I say, oh, Sandy pay me share. Meaning this or but it is purely subjective or pair or the amount or pair on Pama. If you wait me the bank statement, 1 million Ghana cedis umpo. Because I don't think the money is from a legitimate source, or you haven't explained enough. I mean, they can give any kind of reason to refuse you. That is purely subjective with visit visa applications. And no, you have no right of appeal. You have no right of admin review. You can only go for judicial review. But say about marriage application, and now let's say student application, I must say you have to have a certain amount of money in your account. You have it. It has to be there for 28 days. It was there. You have to score English language. You've scored. You have to have enough for your maintenance. You have it. There is no way or no reason why they should refuse you. In that case, if they refuse you because you tick all the boxes, you should have the right to challenge that decision. And our marriage application, you don't have any criminal record. You have not been banned from the UK. You don't owe the NHS. You have your tuberculosis. You have passed your English language. You meet the £38,000. There is communication between you. There is enough accommodation. There is enough evidence that there is a genuine relationship. If they refuse you, you appeal because you have ticked all the boxes. No, they don't have that discretion. So it depends on the application. If you are sure that you've met all the requirements, appeal. Even if they don't give you the right of appeal, you can appeal anyway and then ask for something we call preliminary issue for the court to determine whether you have the right to appeal. And once that is decided, before you go to the substantive issue or the reason for the refusal. So it all depends on the context of the application that you made. Thank you.
What's the procedure of appeal? Because a form appeal and would they do that?
Yeah, they tell you where to go online. Now we have different forms. We have AIFT1, AIFT4, AIFT2. We have different appeals and different forms. If it is inside the UK, the form is different. I think it's AIFT4. If it's from outside the UK, it's AIFT2. So different appeals, different forms. So you have to know the right form before you lodge the appeal on that. These days, they've created everything online, everything on the site. So you go on there and you lodge the appeal there, and then they can, you take whether it is from entry clearance or it is in country or out country, that will determine which section you lodge your appeal under. So everything is now mostly online. Yeah.
Yo.
I am myself and I said, member.
Oh, Papa, a lot of people know how to go about this. A bit to me, yeah, I'm gonna name the form to fill, how to draft your grounds of appeal, how to make the payment. So, to me, you cannot read and understand the procedure. There is no, like I say, you need a lawyer. No, you don't. You can do it yourself. But sometimes, because of the complications and the reading of the words and understanding it, may, shall, or and they mean different things. Because of that, sometimes we advise that even if you want to do it yourself, seek legal advice before you do it yourself, so that at least you know what to do, so that you don't go and cause any difficulties for yourself. Yeah.
Yo, Eja Osei, my yemfa Asia, not yemfa Afufo, Emrenunti, yemfa Bernard, Emfantuaso. Bernard, Bivacho, Fau, Udia, Ebra, if you are no money for in about na Samson at Tuaso, as an acus. Ben, yet you.
Oh, okay, Pacho Medase. I'm say, Namini Hase from the beginning, no. Now, my sister leading me to Hase. Now, maybe DNA about me free. One of the EU countries in Italy, and a buy, but me buy and me papa. Na me papa ne wo passport and me need passport no. To me buy no. Omo mama 5 years with pre-settlement status no.
Yes.
But I think next year December, NBU na SME settlement status. Until me person me bisa say if there is any advice bia because me buy me papa ntina. He lives in a different place, and I'm assuming a different place. It's no na maybe say bia no ebe affect say bia me person me renew media na koji indefinite na ebe affect na say there is a way bia me to me have so there.
But I'll say, bro Ben, what do you feel saying?
Pacho say I'm 30 years.
30 years, okay. Now under the EU laws, under Immigration EEA Regulation 2016, as I say, under the Appendix EU, no, after the Brexit. The requirements are this. So when through 21 years, you need to show two things, relationship and dependency. If you are below 21, you only have to show relationship. If you are more than 21, you show relationship and dependency. In your case, at the time now, I believe you were able to show relationship, birth certificate, DNA, and dependency. So, thankfully for you, to say in Home Office for say, at the time, and you were supposed to show dependent, you have to be dependent on your father for the full 5 years. Either someone in an athlete, and now so what to impua, or no, either so air show, either we age one and so other so air show. But Home Office for say no almost a samrano and almost a samrano dependency no almost shape you as long as I wait me actually so wait na chrome have for 5 years and 1 year and our papa so na chrome had there almost share dependency biom wouldn't not know but share they are not going to look at that anymore. It's a system they are trying to implement to clear up some backlogs, and once they start implementing that system and you can prove that you've been in the UK for 5 years, you should get your indefinite leave to remain based on the new policy. No need to the dependency. That is what it is for you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Because somebody can send the mail be by says after 5 years, you don't need to apply for sale barber renewal or automatically.
That's correct. That's correct. So if that system is implemented, then you don't have to apply. You will get your 5 years. You get your indefinite leave automatically. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Medasi.
You're welcome. Yanko or Hiniba Ehono.
Good evening, Abisafo. Good evening, lawyer.
Good evening, Papa.
Me early 2019 and on your pre-settled status with relationship with my sister. But time of COVID never started, in the height of the COVID, you decided to Uncle Ghana because now the face has conditions in the side of my behavior. Now, call Ghana, she has not been able to come back. But as far as I know, meaning sister will pre-settled status, now say we stay outside, now say we need country anymore for 2 years. This says automatically your status is revoked or meaning the right term to use. However, recently, I think it's 2 weeks ago, we were just doing a blank search with my sister and I call view your status. And you notice it automatically when you're an extension of the 2 years, she was due for 2024, but when you're an extension for the 2 years, Now the question is, even though so stay outside for 2 years, automatically you're pre-settled or your status is revoked, or mama automatic extension, can she still come back to the UK even for a visit or a few days? Or do immigration or more? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, yes, as you rightly pointed out, staying out for 2 years or so affects your pre-settled status because you are not deemed to be here continuously. However, there are exceptions that Sanipani PA, not for medical reason, and I went to me and to Amma. There's one I'm dealing with now. Nipan or permanent residents can only do need pre-settled status or permanent resident, the old son. Oko Ghana, Oko Yari. And he's been out for 6 years. But I am making an application for returning residents on his behalf. And we have argued, sir, he has been in the UK for such a long time. His whole life is spent here. And a Ghana, so Yari or Yari, no. And yeah, idea, I would say, I want to associate with Ubia or Yari in Ghana, Africa. You see, they give all kinds of names. Nobody wants to associate with you. And because of that, anointing, not OG treatment, anointing, I went to me and manner. And in a case like your mom's, if you can obtain the medical evidence to show that there was a reason why she stayed out for that period of time, and maybe a doctor's report which said she could not travel within that period, she could not stay in a flight or sit in one place for more than 2 hours or 3 hours, that is a reason. And this is a 6-hour flight. And if the doctor says she couldn't sit for more than 2 hours, then obviously she couldn't come. That is the reason why she had to go to treatment up until now. It's a compassionate one, but if you make it with the supporting evidence, she has a good chance to come in to stay in the UK until she gets an indefinite leave to remain. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. That's Benjamin Shaw.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yanfa Samson and Twaso. Samson, please unmute yourself and have a question.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And Papa, a lawyer, is it all bird, my financial?
That was so sunny.
Yeah. And my question is recently na Ghana ni baako a obeswe me okafo ofie na obae no ya agye ne be 3 months ni ana ene de ya o so check in sponsorship no de ba no mkohwe o mo se o removing licenses no online o se removed and I say almost de removed and I say sa no matrato and I see those nti ama abrante no so na de ne bewu September ya ohun de onye na me say ka won twen kakra but of free sponsorship manager no kire say keep quiet or kire say manager ne kire say omo de bibi ko home office papers ni be di be 7 months it is 7 months no monte omo nka de a on the na de ne wu September omo ntumi nya ho review nti e ba sa na e ha de nam so ka me free lawyer kra bona mane na and I'm busy kakra na mse na ma menwe na me more lawyer mane so betumi ma akwanya bia e mfaso ne emwana.
Thank you. Me bro, me pacho or the care, help and care the bayana.
Lawyer pacho health and care.
On any company that so ye juma dey.
There be oba nyina onye juma dey aba no mo ha mo ye pay slip bi man na afi dey ate kokra.
Okay. And the company any home office anya issue be ana
so mo de omo paper omo ko hwe omo papers mo hu say jama company no enkofo mo de omo ba UK omo ba juma anye.
Okay.
And yeah. I didn't licenses.
That's fine. And so that is from the beginning. No, me share. And okay, that's what I started with. That some companies, home office, are revoking and now have the curtailed or more sponsorship license. A be a court challenging the home office as to why they should curtail or revoke their sponsorship license. So case leaders who are in court there. And yet they will still be deemed to be here legally. Of course, system is so not all your share could have actually, but some of their two systems, the sponsorship license has been removed. And the sponsor is having an issue with the home office. That's the home office, a year of investigations, and they decide to revoke the license. Then, I'm not sure the employees said they have 60 days to look for another option. Either you pack your bag and go back to Accra International Airport, or you stay in the UK and look for another option. Either over switchy or another sponsor. So I don't think I'm link, Eddie man and I'm back to the chat room or the link not to her. Or wait me alcohol, share not what she share another sponsor. What he doesn't want to do is to wait until Home Office lecturer said, yeah, revoking. Now you will be under so much pressure within that 60 days to get another sponsor. When now the 60 days need paper, he's become an overstayer, and that becomes more difficult for him to switch to another category. And I would say you should go out there, look for a sponsor, switch as soon as possible before the Home Office takes any moves against them.
I am that's in the border money.
Yo,
Yemfa Akosia and Twaswi, Akosia Niako Bright, T Beauty K at Twaso.
Hello.
How is it?
Pacha Medasi. Pacha, my question and say, so also we are area. Now we can say Bemane a citizen waha, and also waha say do you have to or some call if you and some movie to me ayana because matter say mo nyina mo waha na mo pesa mo area or say mo kofi na mo koye so na mo pesa me busa ho ansem
Auntie Akos, majority why? Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, Bipacho, Nipana, Mummy and over Warreno, Papa, a British citizen, Obana, I know the idea no brand.
And to Obana, so a sponsorship issue, yeah.
Sponsorship.
We need sponsorships this year.
But we won't.
Me fan say but sponsor ni revoke.
I'm on revoke until what me
Obana resign adwuma no but sponsor no revoke 6 months ni.
Okay, this is the answer. I have 2 in 1 questions. The first one is aware. The second one here asitna. Aware there your human right. Article 12 of the Human Rights Act is your human right to marry. It's your human right. You still have some sweetness in your body. Whether there's or not, the sweetness in the body has nothing to do with krata. And it's your human right. And the answer is yes, you can marry in the UK. You inform the registrar that you want to marry. They'll do their search to check whether it is a genuine marriage or not. Once they are satisfied, they'll give the go-ahead to marry. UK. The next thing is asitnano. So asitnano you can switch to the new sponsor on your new spouse, but it means you would have divorced from the first one before you can marry another person. If you are not divorced from the first person, you cannot marry another person in the UK. The UK does not accept bigamous marriages. The UK does not accept 2 marriages. They accept all kinds of other things, but not 2 marriages. So you cannot marry 2 if you are not divorced from the other spouse.
No, I'm not divorce. So no divorce.
Okay. So my divorce here, but the problem is sometimes because person Home Office about the fee and here and there and back and forth and come for interview and the registrar near ebinimu yani say amoma ebusuafo eware fifi ema won and no ye can say customary marriage registration certificate ebusuafo bet maybe be fifi e dia bro, then you apply to switch to your spouse or your spouse here in the UK. So yes, it is possible. Once you are divorced and you are free to marry, you can marry from Ghana or you can marry here. After that, you switch to make a new application to base on your partner here. Under Appendix FM Section LTRP of the Immigration Rules, with reference to your Article 8 Human Rights, etc., etc.
A process no a check a crack and how long will it take?
You can do the 24-hour one. So as it naning we are, you can do the 24-hour one. The home office fee is £1,048. The IHS is £2,587.50p. So the two will give you £3,635.50p. If you want it quick, you pay additional £1,000. That makes it £4,635.50p. You get a decision within 24 hours. Wow. If everything is okay. But if you don't have the money to pay the £4,635.50p, you have to wait for 9 to 12 months for them to make a decision on your application. So the fee again, home office £1,048, IHS £2,587.50p, and then you pay the super priority of £1,000, total of £4,635.50p. You can make application. You get your stay in the UK if you so wish to.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
You're welcome, Agosia. Denver Brighton, just right. It's you.
Yo, obisa for me chia bibiana madam ase wa kwanya wo dem ami me pese me busa me question any say uno bi de awade na ba hanum odo mo abedru na obi ati ni baby obi use different address na mukasa odo mukasa time bia na different address na mu use no edru say mukoye renewal and say mu bia pick card no first year ni wu na mu pese mu renew for second year na and on address na your difference no e be hadwen na sesen
you mean I bet to me hadwen, but there are some exceptions. Say mobadu ye no if I hear you for there they don't have a problem. Under the EU law there's a case called the case of Aisha to Diata. So Obani wo Nangananga, Obani wo Cambodia, UK, and our Birmingham, Obama London, and Fahong, as long as they are both in the UK. Under the EU law, it does not matter at all. Now the case is the case of Aisha to Diata. It means that you are still married. As long as you are not divorced, you are still a married couple. Under the UK law, it's a totally different thing. Under the health and care rules, it's a totally different thing. Hey dear, what would you? Papa na yejuma o Abia Wales ana up there Obansa yejuma you London some betimi a kire say ejuma nti na mo different places now so you have one matrimonial home. You must have a matrimonial home. So even though you are living at separate places, your documents go through the same address as a married couple. So the man is in Wales, the woman is in London, maybe Wales and a year your matrimonial home, your bank statement. Now we bet me some bank address on the phone. You can do it online. We are to a home. 1 year paper statement every month on basis somehow. Every electronic statement. Any idea of a customer we are electronic one. I also anytime person printer you can print it. So that is one. But it is very helpful if you have gas, water, electricity, telephone bills through the same address. It helps. But somehow and sometimes, some documents, gas, maybe you slot, electricity you slot, you don't have any bills for it. It's understandable. Water, I mean, that I don't think there's slots in water. I don't know about that. But if there is, then that is all. But if it is not, it is helpful to have your addresses at the same place. But if the addresses are in different places, then you must have an explanation as to why they are your documents are from different addresses, and that must be due to work purposes. Nanso se momi anu mo London ha obi of North London, obi of South London, and if you catch them say you have different addresses, I will not understand. If I am a caseworker, I will not accept that because you are both in London. You can't tell me say because of distance between North and South London, you have different addresses, different places, different towns. It can be explained. If you can put it together now, please try and put it together so that it doesn't create more difficulties for you when it comes to the time to renew. Thank you.
Thank you. Yemfa TBT and Twaso. Mr. Dominic Nikato, meeting for Via APM and Bray. Time TBT Pacha Yeti.
Pacha, good evening. Thank you. Pacha, me person me busa about EU or mukuta. Basically, me papa or pension. Now, or sister or 2 coin fee has say na se bi okotina Ghana person call for few months. How does it affect him? It be affecting an okuta Spanish passport.
Our indefinite and our settlement.
Me pacha.
Yeah, our settlement. After EU national, once you have settlement, you shouldn't be out for more than 5 years. 5 years. Yes, and so you're waiting as long as our settlement will happen. Another UK law is 2 years. Another EU settlement scheme is 5 years. So he can go and come as long as he shows that he's still here and he has worked, he's entitled to his pension, he should still get his pension. So your benefit now all year. I know that he has to inform them if he's going to be away for I think 3 weeks or more. But a pension then he doesn't.
Pension. Yeah, a pension.
I don't know why in a Juma and he's getting his pension. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Mpacho, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Thank you too. Yemfa Dominic Edu Pacho. Dominic Pacho, meet yourself here too.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Follow-up question to marriage. Lawyer can say marriage is a fundamental human right.
So you have your feelings. You have your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
But visa issue is about 7 months. Obano when the papers but them are no at the visit as a 6 month interval, but or visit visa so possible say no a bit me adwuma now obana to me our them no visit visa so
me that's it. Very good question. Now so we'll share appendix V for visit. The alphabet V stands for visit. Appendix V of the immigration rules. There are certain things you can't do if you're in the UK as a visitor. Want to mean Juma, want to mean school, you can't volunteer, etc. You can't give notice to marry because all bano or kaisa me ba no sign ako. And you almost say as a visitor, you can't give notice to marry. That is one. Who person who warrior and you pay for your application never as a spouse, not as a visitor. That is it. However, also a danger you ever no window one and a pronounce one. Until sometimes say pulling yejuma, they are window, most a window in yejuma, they are a pronoun. I almost say what's not for more than 6 months, nothing or no a woba. Abofranenti, even those who buy as a visitor, and what's now have more than 6 months, just a visa no ewu. Yeah, more 5 years visit visa now to have for more than 6 months ewu. 5 years now call passport money ewu automatically. Na obani woba, and I wouldn't know a woba abofranenti, enka SSA usanko, but abofranenti, akodanenti, yem pesa wone ubano, relationship na wa muntemno. I bet it into akwadanenti ye dibemao no what na kom ha but abofra bi anim ubi sanin say wa and they just say usanko ukrom cut na ukrom for 1 year and sign our sign about back to the UK. So if your visa is still valid as a visitor, you cannot switch. If the visa expires and you have a child, you can switch based on the child. So we have EX1 and we have EX2. The EX1 is exception. That's the short form of exception. The rule is go back home. But because of the child, we will use EX1, exception 1. You take the child to school, take the child to hospital, GP, because of the child, EX1. So if there is something called EX2, insurmountable obstacle, and I want to mean Yawu Yirina, and the original Yarian, so you see Yarian, Yadibamau, but a non chrono and your guarantee to set a mofranity. Let me summarize. So, this and we are as a visitor, you can't switch, you cannot marry here. Service and they na abofra ni mu a you have to go back home. Service and they na se abofra wo mu a unko wo ye bibia wo krom ha. Service and they na se yare report binti untime nkwa you can do everything here. So these are the combinations when it comes to a visitor in the UK. Yes, you have your human rights, but the law also is there to put alongside your human rights.
All right.
Thank you. I'll give you an example. Nana, I'll give you an example. There's this Obroni Koko Machie, Oko Sierra Leone, Omukoye mining, and Owari, Salarian Obabi, on any twins. And or visit visa, Emani buy. Whilst within that 6 months, no, and Omukoye application for say Obani Betinakumha, Omu refuse twice. 2 times, some application was refused. And Obi catcher and say, Omra, na me advising. And Joe Bayano, me catcher about minister, any Brunin say, let's wait. Say 6 months, Nitremwa. She is no longer here as a visitor. She is here as an overstayer. Remember, sir, because Papa is British, name Manonsu twins, Nonsu, British citizens. And based on the children we applied for her, she got a leave to remain. But while the 6 months was valid, there is no way they will ever give it to her. After the 6 months, she's no longer a visitor. She's an overstayer. She has a child or children that are British citizens. The partner is a British citizen. She gets it to stay here in the UK.
Yo, like Ebedasi and the Embry, Yabeji last West, I would be contact details. So be a percent or contact you after, and then you will program here. Now, we didn't go my answer.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you, and all the honorable people on the platform. Thank you all for logging on and asking your questions. It's a joy for me to respond to questions, and it's lovely when we give solutions to some people's challenges. Thank you so much. I am Wise Smart Solicitors. I am Wisdom Akaho, 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 Lawyer Wisdom Akaho. That is what my name is. Your Wise Smart Solicitors, number 8 to 9, the Print House, 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, Dalston, London, E83DL. You're very close to the Dalston Market, behind the McDonald's. McDonald's, we were Dalston Market, Linchenho. You are behind the McDonald's. And this is where we are based. The number again is 0208 0165 384. That's the office number, 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. Mobile number near 079 31 411-042, 079-31-411-042. There are options. And of course, so Home Office refusal application, and don't give up. There's always a way out. And Yame Adumwa next week said, yes, we are mad. I want to look at 20 years long residence. Recently about Mr. Shade. Ghana Nibia what's now Krumha for 47 years. Okoye application to the Home Office of a British passport. And I'm going to refuse say no. Mr. Shade. Or no, what's now no him say or a British citizen. Or back Krumha 1977. Now me saying I think I was 8 years old. And now back Krumha. I went to Nahasa, I wouldn't ma or ne obroni ewuma ni money into very responsible positions. Until no dear on him say or was sitting or a British. One call Ghana since 1977. Wakoya British passport application and a British forces lady. Sorry, Mr. Shade. J British New Jibo when you okay a British passport there. I have went to me farm out. Papa say, I didn't Martina Krum has some, I pay tax, it doesn't work that way. Nationality is a matter of law. Were you born a British? Was your father British before you were born? Was your mother British? Did you naturalize? Etc. If you didn't naturalize under Section 1(4) or you didn't register under Section 1(4) and Section 6 of the British Nationality Act 1981, or your parents were not British, or you were not born in the UK on the 1st of January 1981, you are not British. You can be here for forever. You are not a British citizen. Unfortunately for Mr. Shade, even though he has been here for 47 years, the British said you are not a British citizen. So, to ask about this case, yes, so that is a summary of it. Mr. Shade is not a British citizen. They are reconsidering his case. We want to see if they can give him some indefinite or some discretionary leave, but he is not a British citizen. Don't assume, no matter how long a fish is in the river, it is not a crocodile. Okay? You can be here forever. You are not a British citizen unless the law says you are a British citizen. Thank you very much. Let's seek advice. Let us also ask questions. Mejidi said we will be able to help Mr. Shade as much as we can. I hear there's crowdfunding to help him pay for his visa applications and stuff. We are all going to chip in if we get the link. So, what's now Nkrumah, 20 years, 25 years, 18 years, 19 years? Please seek advice. When you sit now, apply, get your stay. Don't become a fish thinking that you are a crocodile in the river. You are not. Thank you, Nana. Good weekend to everybody.
Yo, I'm saying for Yeveda Munina, so as I said, then you to me a journey about a digital April. Player wisdom, as that can say, call Emma, we team, I all wise my solicitors. Wise my solicitors, lawyer wisdom, and I agree, you know, April say, Yame, yeah, don't pass it or buyer. Next week, the same link now, the buyer. Omodiana Kachiru, Nipa Baku, no, so Emma Mekaya, next week, now, yen try that you 200. Platform is next week. Nyame Wednesday, the health talk abroad, the same link in Tibomodiana join the doctors. No, na question will be waiting here. Sana Yawada, so the time with tap send at the abroad. Music something able to tap send accept. There be, and then you may ask the lawyer. Nyame had my Thursday share me. Me tap send accept. Why? I had no enemy do we see. Nyame had my Thursday share.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Say thank you. The Bull Bright, thank you, Samson, Heniba, and everybody. Thank you all. God bless. Nyame Aduma. Give us a share next week. Nana, bless you.
Bye.
Hello. This is Lawyer Wisdom of Wismart Solicitors. Join me this and every Friday on OT TV from 8 to 9 p.m. for all your UK immigration matters. I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Buy an interest-free home and pay within 36 months. Yes, Daimler Homes' new gold standard development, Houston Court, has just commenced, and you can own a unit now and pay within 36 months without any interest. Starting at $95,000, you can own an elegant apartment. And guess what? Discounts are available from now till end of May. To learn more, visit our website at daimlerhomesgh.com or call us on 0200-584-558. Daimler Homes, the elegance of living.
Mr. Mankwa, me offer was a niska bani de wie ni project no. Eso de bia me offer sika amane wo problem.
Enemremu. Na monte tap sending kan.
No so ne de.
Tap send dey easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this sika free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey ni say.
Chine say won call App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. Oma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the gina the customers wanti or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about anything.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubetimi akọ tap send app no no create wallet woso. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika kogu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atususu nkakra enti abre sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no anse wa send sika na ba Ghana anase oba o my Ghana mu What in here you sika e wo wallet no no. Tia.
And you said to say you use momo Ghana hey no.
Sa pepe. Se see a tap send that trainer shim. Kopium wo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands and Austria. Tap send na.
Papa no.